We begin this section as we discuss extension organization. Welcome to class, everyone. Good to have you online. In this class, we're going to define extension organization. We're going to consider the types of extension organization. And finally, we will be looking at the functions of extension organization. At the end of the session, we expect participants to be able to effectively represent these topics that we've listed. Basically, define extension organization, discuss the types of extension organization, and discuss the functions of extension organization. Let's start with definition of extension organization. An extension organization will be defined as arrangement of relationship of persons, materials, and ideas that is necessary for the performance of extension functions. It is the pattern of ways in which large number of people, too many to have intimate face-to-face contact with each other and engage in a complexity of tasks, relate themselves to accomplish mutually agreed purposes. When we say the large number, that they may find it difficult to have intimate face-to-face contact. We are looking at a situation whereby you have extension in Anambra State, you have extension in Oyo State, you have extension in Borno State, you have extension in Cross River State. Now, all these are members of one organization. Now, for them to be effective, they may find it difficult to have a face-to-face contact. But then having a structure, organizational structure, we will discuss that later, will help to ensure that goals are accomplished. Organization is a social unit devoted primarily to the attainment of specific goals. One important point I want you to note in the above definition is that an organization is a human creation through which individuals working as a group can cooperate efficiently as individuals who are working alone. A organization will include the following types: cooperative extension service, for example, as it is practiced in the United States of America, the ministry-based extension service, commodity-based extension service, community-based, community development, please, community development-based extension service, and integrated rural development extension service. Now, in cooperative extension service, members of a cooperative group can get together and then invite the extension agent or extension organization to work with their group. Here, farmers form themselves into cooperative groups and then extension work in line with that. In ministry extension services, extension is domiciled in the ministry, and in the ministry, usually Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development decides what extension service should focus on. Extension service cannot function outside that which the ministry must have approved. In community development extension service targets certain communities. It focuses on a given community, goes all out to develop such communities. In integrated rural development extension service goes beyond mere agriculture and then looks ahead and goes into provision of rural infrastructure, looks into the provision of other health facilities, road networks, markets, and other things. Then in commodity-based extension service, what extension does here is to focus on a particular commodity. It can be cocoa, it can be rice, it can be sorghum, it can be groundnut, and it can be millet. of the commodities, and then everything extension does will hover around those commodities. Now discuss functions of extension organization. First of all, we have about 7 clear functions here of extension organization. One is that it permits stable exception to be formed by each member of the group as to the behavior of other members of the extension organization. Two, extension organization provides a general stimulus that controls the behavior of members of an organized group. It's general in the sense that it does not focus on individuals. Three is that extension organization divides work among its members by giving everyone a work or a task to accomplish, thus limiting its attention to a set of tasks. Of course, we know this will encourage professionalism. That is what we call division of labor. Extension organization goes into division of labor, ensuring that every worker, every member of the organization aligns him or herself to a certain task. And then, as the individual gets involved in such tasks, he is not distracted by other responsibilities or assignments. Further, extension organization functions as a means of establishing standard of practice. Now, if there are no given standard of practices for agricultural functions, you can be sure that there will be no measure, there will be no measuring rod, let's say measuring rod, as to say certain extension or certain agricultural practice is up to date or not. So what extension does is that it establishes standard of practice. It lays down acceptable minimum standard individuals can do within the performance of their jobs. The fifth one is that extension and organization is there to transmit decisions downwards through its rank by establishing system of authority and influence. When we do not have an organization like extension organization, you will find it very difficult to have information and decisions trickle down the ranks. So it's the place of extension organization to ensure that information taken at the hierarchy trickles down the ranks. Then the sixth one is that it provides channel of communication through which information flows. This will include both the formal and informal channel of communication. Whether communication is to be official or not official, even things that would possibly not be so uh, formal in the sector, extension organization provides a platform. It gives the members of the organization a platform for information flow, if we both inflow and outflow. Then finally, the last but not the least is that extension organization trains and indoctrinates its members to acquire knowledge, skills, and loyalty that enables them to make decisions as the organization would like them to do. It also infuses into them the skill and ability to work cooperatively with colleagues in trying to achieve the organizational goals. One of the benefits of having colleagues, one of the gains of having colleagues is this privilege to learn how to work in a team. And you can always be sure of that within the concept of extension organization. Once again, let you know that here would be the point the class would end for this session. In the next session, we're going to look at organizational structure, the types of organizational structure, and other things that relates to the organization, including the principles of organization. Thank you for your time.